Keppe's work that's important here, Claudia, is that this has never really been studied in the history of humankind before, this question of the will of the human being.
Yeah, being inverted. All values being inverted.
Yeah, and so there's a sort of a, on our website we have these 3 drops into a huge lake of water on the website. It's the image that we're using for our show, these drops of consciousness, of spirituality, to try to bring consciousness to this aspect of human beings. And I was thinking as you were speaking, I remember reading about a study, actually many studies have been done about this, where human beings are told by their doctors that they must change. They must change their lifestyle. They have to start getting exercise. They have to stop eating so much fat. They have to stop smoking, stop drinking. They must change, or they will face a very serious situation, maybe even death, in a very short time. They must change, or they will die. And only 10% of people change.
Because if you start saying you must for a patient, you will create such a resistance. He will do the opposite. Because nobody wants to be repressed in anything.
Censored.
No, you must. It's a kind of censorship. So we need to become conscious of things. We think that children are not conscious, are not ready to understand things, but they are. We have the truth inside of ourselves. If you want to deceive your child, he will not accept. So if a neurotic behavior, if you want to see the degree of neurosis in a person, you see how much this person wants.
Hello, Richard.
Oh, hi, Cesar.
Oh, it was quite difficult to answer in the line.
You're on the
Sorry
line
for the
now.
delay. Yeah, I've been trying for 10 minutes. What's up?
We're on the air live, Cesar. Let me just introduce you. Let Claudia finish her thought first.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then we'll get to you. Just 1 minute. Finish your thought, Claudia. This is very, very good what you're talking about. This tendency we have to want to censor, to want to impose.
Yes.
This is a moralistic.
Yes.
Doesn't work.
So saying a must for a person just increases the desire. That's why diets don't work. So if you do a strong diet, then the chance of eating much more after you stop your diet, it's really big. So now it's a time of consciousness. So we need to become aware of why we do things and how things would be otherwise, if things would be in the right way. So we can have the freedom, a conscious freedom to choose what we want. So you cannot never say to a patient, you must do this or you die. We would say, you have to see why you want to die. What you are doing that you are choosing death. This is the question. Why you want to die? Why you want to destroy your life? What the results show your hidden intention. If you are sick, if you are dying, it's because you are doing something against your life. So that's the point to be addressed.
Very calming, this. Well, you're listening to Healing Through Consciousness, our first program with Richard Lloyd-Jones and Dr. Claudia Bernhardt Pacheco. We have a good friend on the line now. We wanted to bring him in today because it's also another very momentous event is happening here in São Paulo, Brazil. The Eco-Germa trade show. This is a German ecological trade show. And Cesar Sauce, one of our great dear friends, is there with the Keppe Motor. And this is a rather extraordinary invention, actually, that captures the energy of the universe. This is technology that Tesla was working on, many people have been working on for the last 100 years, and nobody has really managed, to my knowledge, to be able to capture this. The Keppe Motor, based on Norberto Keppe's applications of his theories in the area of physics, is doing just that. And Cesar is there right now. One of the developers of this motor is at the fair, and I thought we would get a report from him of what's happening. Cesar, how are things? Lots of people. What's going on?
Yeah, hello, Richard. Hello, everybody. Well, here at the exhibition, there are a lot of stands and many presentations, and our presentation seems to be one of the most interesting because we are really presenting something revolutionary, and both Germans and Brazilian entrepreneurs, they are considering it extremely, extremely interesting, extremely, how to say, original, because it's not like anything else you can see in the market. So we are presenting one regular motor, a conventional motor, and comparing its performance to the Keppe motor doing the same mechanical work. And this is being fantastic because when the people see we can make the same mechanical work as a conventional motor with a Keppe motor, saving about 90% of energy, they get really enthusiastic about that. They start to figure out what this could mean for the world if we use these motors in cars, in airplanes, in industries, pumps, whatever, even generators, you see. And so this is causing quite a lot of talk here. Many people have visited our stands. They are taking books. They want to know the principle Dr. Keppe discovered in his book, The New Physics. And this has been simply fantastic, Richard. Simply fantastic.
Cesar, you were saying that they're getting excited. I get excited about this, and I don't know very much about technology, but I'll tell you, the idea that you can drive a fan or any kind of apparatus at the same torque using 90% less energy is exciting for all of us. What's the basic principle of Keppe's work you think that would be interesting for our listeners to know? Because Dr. Keppe's work is very expansive, and in this area of physics, what is the one or two principles that are sort of key for people to understand at a basic level?
The greatest discovery of Dr. Keppe was when he discovered that physics was inverted. Dr. Keppe discovered the phenomenon called inversion. And this inversion is behind all theories in the world, and also in physics. And so by applying his discovery in physics, he disinverted physics. And what is the basic inversion of physics? Physics believes that energy comes from matter. So if you want to have energy, you think about coal, you think about uranium, plutonium, you think about gas, you think about wood, you think about material elements. And because of this thought, this inverted thought, we are depleting our material world. We're destroying the world. That's the consequence we are seeing today. So in this new physics, Dr. Keppe proposes that we should capture energy from space because space itself is energy. So for the first time, we are developing a technology that can tap into this energy of vacuum, energy of space. So imagine this, a world that could run taking energy from space and not from material elements. From one moment to the other, we would save the planet. Have you imagined that, Richard? This is the greatest discovery of Dr. Keppe. It's feasible. We can put this in terms of technology. And that's exactly what the Keppe motor does. It takes energy from the space. Most of it comes from the space. It uses a little battery just to give a start and to continue to supply a little impulse for the motor. And then the rest the motor takes from space and delivers the same mechanical work as any other conventional motor, but with much less consumption. This is simply great. The principle is in the very beginning, and it can be much more developed yet. And I'm pretty sure in the next months or years that are coming, with the proper investments, we can apply this motor for any kind of apparatus, any kind of machine in the world. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, Cesar, I think Claudia said at the beginning of the program that human beings don't have a way out anymore. We're on a dead end. If we continue the way we are, obviously physically on our planet taking our resources, but even psychologically, politically, economically, if we continue the way we have been, we will destroy everything about us. So we don't have an option. We need to be understanding this science of Dr. Keppe's in terms of physics so that we can